Ahead, the bumpy ride continues for the U.S. economy and elated elephants later in the show. Welcome to 3 Times Square this Thursday from Reuters World Headquarters in New York. The U.S. economy moving ahead in fits and starts. Our daily digit today, 2.7%, the gain in third quarter GDP, which is up from the previous reading of 2%. However, much of the gains coming from growth of inventories, restocking of shelves. That's not considered sustainable, plus consumer spending was weaker. The latest data on consumers not providing much hope of a significant rebound. Yes, Black Friday sales were strong, but not the month overall. So far, the retailers tracked by Thomson Reuters posting comparable store sales gains in November of about half the 3.3% forecast, with at least one retailer still to report. Gap did a bit better with sales climbing 3%, though that was below its forecast. Target saw sales decline when a gain was predicted as the number of transactions fell. And Kohl's posted a nearly 6% drop in November sales. Those sales picked up at the end of the month. Checking the shares of all right now, we have Gap down almost 2%, Target down just over 1%, and Kohl's down nearly 10%. Tiffany not providing much hope for the high end, the luxury chain blaming poor sales of silver jewelry, among other factors, for its troubles. The company lowering its fiscal year sales and profit forecast. Sales weakest in Asia, U.S. sales a bit better. Shares closed at 63.73 Wednesday and are now down there about a little over 8%. And Coach, one of its competitors, you can see down there just over 1%. Our power player of the day trying to turn his bricks and mortar business into a digital powerhouse. It's Barnes & Noble CEO William Lynch. The bookstore posting a narrower loss than expected on the heels of Lynch publicly saying he doesn't read physical books anymore, just digital ones. Speaking of which, sales of the Nook were up 38% during the company's fiscal second quarter. Shares of Barnes & Noble closed at $16.05 on Wednesday and are now down just a bit at about $15.92. In the UK, reading a popular activity today after the release of a key report on the British press. Our Jamie McGeever joins us from London. Jamie, tell us, what does the report say?
Yes, Lisa, at last. This is the report from Lord Justice Leveson. He has just published his findings of a far-reaching inquiry into British newspapers that you may remember was sparked by the phone hacking scandal at Murdoch's News of the World tabloid. Now, the report was 2,000 pages long, so I know you're talking about a day of reading here, but I have to be honest, I've not read it all. But in the report, Leveson says that politicians became far too close to newspaper executives over the last 30 years and that the behaviour in some sections of the press was outrageous. His main finding, he has called for a new independent body to regulate the press, backed by law. Now, this is key. This doesn't mean that Parliament will regulate newspapers, but the pressure is on David Cameron, Prime Minister David Cameron. Does he accept the findings, as phone hacking victims and their supporters would like, or not, as many in his own party and the powerful press itself would like? They see it as a battle to maintain a free press. So he's in a very tricky position. He speaks later this afternoon, and it's very much over to you, David Cameron.
All right, interesting. We'll be watching for that. Jamie, thank you so much from London. From phone hacking to mudslinging of a gentler kind, more than 36 elephants from southern India's temples getting a well-deserved spa holiday. The pampered pachyderms and their caretakers spending 48 days in a local camp where the animals are treated to piles of sugarcane, medicine, and vitamin supplements. A staple of many of India's religious ceremonies, these elephants live in isolation at the temples most of the year, but here they're free to fraternize with others while being adorned with garlands and a special dust that acts as sunblock, proving they're not as thick-skinned as you'd think. That's the latest in 3 Times Square this Thursday. You can follow us on Twitter for more headlines of the day at Reuters Insider, and check out our Reuters YouTube channel at Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters.